Hey everyone, I'm Kelly
And I'm Echo.
and welcome to our channel.
This is our no-fail, always appropriate makeup looks.
So if you're wondering how we got to here, you can just stick around and we'll show you the products and tools we use to achieve this look.
Alright, I'm gonna start on my eyes. Do you do eyes first or do you
I
face first?
actually do face first.
Okay.
I don't know, I guess I find in most mornings, now with a little one, I tend to run a little bit behind schedule, so I find most of my insecurities are in my imperfections in my face. So if I have my base on first, I can take my time with my base, but if I need to rush anything, it's the other stuff. So that's what I like to do. But I totally get people that like to.
Maybe I'm a little bit messier. I feel like, yeah, to avoid the fallout, I just do my eyes first. So I'm using the Cakeless Concealer from Benefit, the Boing. I like saying that, the Boing.
The boing. I'm just using a primer right now. So I'm gonna go in, so I just did my primer. For those of you that like to do things a little bit differently, so I'm actually using this brand, Quo? I don't know. I like to say things a little bit differently than a lot of people, so I've been using this one lately. It's a liquid foundation and I really like it. This is
Is it a full coverage?
I find it's one that's like you can build on it, but I do like more medium to full coverage. And I have very oily skin and acne prone, so I find this one seems to work pretty
I feel
good.
like, okay, my go-to used to be, like drugstore-wise, I used to really like that L'Oreal Infallible Matte, and that was my go-to. But I feel like after having kids and hitting 30, I feel like my skin changed, and I feel like I have to moisturize like crazy. And if I use a matte foundation, I feel really parched after.
Yeah.
So I've been using less matte foundations and more like satin type finishes. So now I'm going to take a large shadow brush. I have this really nice set that my husband got me for my birthday, which I really love. Yeah, the rose gold, I love it. And I'm going to go in with my coconut palette from ColourPop, and I'm going to set the concealer that I set down on my eye. You can use a concealer if you do not have an eyeshadow primer. I would use a tinted eyeshadow primer, but I'm really liking the concealer as my eyeshadow base. So I'm going to set that with the light nude shade, the Shredded, in the coconut palette.
So I just went in and I had my concealer. This is the stuff I was using today. I've got a whole bunch of different styles that I like to use. A lot of times I like, actually, this is one of my new favorites. It's the L'Oreal infallible for a drugstore product. I
Ooh,
find
yeah.
it's very full coverage. So for like, yeah, if you're going somewhere after work or, you know, after a long day, that one's a really good go-to. But I think that one is maybe not as acne friendly. I find like I can do it under my eyes and it works beautifully, and I can use it even as a primer.
But for covering
a breakout, I find it actually, it didn't help the situation much, if that makes sense.
I hear you.
So then I just went through with some pressed powder. Not pressed powder, loose powder. And I'm actually...
Forgot to tell you, I'm going in with Lovely Bunch. That's what I'm working into my crease right now. So I'm just doing windshield wiper motions and then little circular motions towards the end once there's not a lot of powder left on the brush, just to blend it out as well.
And this is where I get a little bit more messy. When you're doing a foundation first, I always put a little bit of loose powder underneath my eyes, so if if you have any fall come from your eyeshadow, it sticks on top of that and you can wipe it away before
You have a smear.
you have a smear. Exactly. I'm going in with my eyeshadow primer. I've been using, just lately, I've been using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer.
Is it the tinted one or is it the translucent?
I believe this is the translucent. This is the, I think this is the original.
I feel like you use lots of color, like typically day to day, on your lid. So do you find that it doesn't, you don't have to worry so much about your pigments on your eyelids showing through then?
Yeah, I find, like, because I did put some concealer in too, because I've got like a naturally dark eye, so like a purple, yeah, kind of like purpley bluey color, so I like to be able to cover that right up. And if I'm doing like both the concealer and this, it just kind of helps keep everything in place. And
I just went back in with the shredded, this neutral color, and I just went back in on my lid and I just blended it out so it's really diffused with this, it's like a large eye definer brush. Very flat, very soft, and it's really good for doing the lid. And not so much the crease. I wouldn't use this one for a crease brush, but it's really good for doing the lid and doing like your lid work on there. Even for applying glitter, I like this one for doing like a glittery eyeshadow. I'm just doing a matte though, the shredded, just to blend more the crease color back into the lid here.
so I'm going to be going in now and starting with my eyes, and I'll be using the Naked Urban Decay palette. So this is the first Naked palette, and I just went in and I don't really like their names, but they're pretty colors.
They are pretty colors.
So I've been mixing Virgin and Sin together, which interesting, but very, very pretty colors, and I'm just going to spread that all over the lid.
I'm gonna go in with Dreamer from the Norvina palette. I'm using the NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner.
So I went in and I used the color Buck for the inside of my crease and underneath, and then I actually went in and I used Gunmetal just for in like the corners, the outer corners, just to add a little bit more pop of color. I'm gonna go in. I'm using this one lately, Quo. This one should be Quo. Do you think? I don't know.
I could be totally wrong, and you can correct me in the comments below
I should look.
if you know the proper pronunciation of the Shoppers Drug Mart brand. I believe it is pronounced Quo. I could be wrong, and if I am, I will eat my words.
I've been using this one lately for my brows, $1 Billion Brows. And yeah, it's just like they call it a brow butter, but it's like a pomade. And this is the blonde shade. I actually really like it because I find with blonde hair, I don't want to go too dark with my eyebrows, but at the same time I want them to be seen. And I have a scar in my eyebrow from when I was a kid, and I'm my graceful self. When I fell, I ended up cutting my eyebrow, and now those hairs are like curly around my scar. So it can be really annoying. So I like having a pomade because it kind of keeps everything in place.
So I'm just going in, I'm going to curl my lashes. We're blonde, and we have very blonde eyelashes.
Mine are really curly though.
Are they?
Yes.
I need to curl mine because they're stick straight. And if you're to wear lashes at all, your lashes are going to be sticking straight out, and then your false lashes are going to be curled, and it's going to look kind of messy. So I always curl mine. It looks funny. It's not a torture device. I hold for 5 seconds. Slowly release, never pull. You don't want to take your natural lashes with it. And then I go towards the end, hold for 5 more seconds. Slowly release.
Now, I'm really glad I don't have to do that because I think that would just give me the shivers. So we both like using, I'm just going to start a little bit of the contouring process here.
The NYX.
The NYX palette, contouring palette. I absolutely love it. It's not that expensive.
No, not as far as contouring go. I like it better than what you would find in Sephora, to be honest. Like equal amount of like, I guess. I wouldn't say I prefer it, but it's kind of like the equal. I'm going with the L'Oreal Last Paradise. I'm kind of picky about my mascaras. When I first started wearing makeup, I had to use just Physicians Formula because I felt like everything else irritated my eyes. I feel like I'm a little bit better now. But now where I'm picky is I don't like my mascara melting during the day or ending up on my lid. So Kelly and I would laugh at each other because we used to live together even after, growing up and moving out of our family home. And we would mock each other for our mascara faces.
It's like, can you actually do
your makeup without
making
a funny face? So consciously, ever since then, I've tried to keep my face normal while applying mascara.
It's like,
I used to do this.
So I was using for my blush, I like to use a few different colors. I seem to try to mix colors all the time. But I like this Love Blush from Too Faced. It's really pretty. And I don't know if this was like a limited edition. I'm not sure, but it was super pretty, and they've got tons of different colors. So depending on your skin tone and stuff too.
Or your level of tan.
Exactly.
Our dad's a redhead and our mom's a brunette with kind of caramelly skin. And I feel like we're all neutral skin tones. We can tan really well. Yeah. So we can get pretty dark in the summertime. So should still wear sunscreen. I'm finished with my eyes for the moment. I'll finish up underneath my eyes when I'm done my face. So I'm going in with the NYX Pore Filler. The products that I have been using lately, I just got over I'm getting over some dermatitis, and it really, I feel as though it affects what I put on my skin. I love the sound of my voice when I do this.
It's beautiful.
I sound amazing.
You should be on that Calm app. See, now I'm doing mascara face.
Are you doing the mascara face? I feel like this helps to cover what's remaining of the dermatitis. Makes it a little smoother. typically I would go in with more of a hydrating primer. And I have a little palette here that I'm putting my foundation on, just so you know that I'm not just dropping it on the table.
Sure. Yeah, that would be quite something.
Oh, it sure would.
What are you doing?
What did you do?
Okay, so I just threw on some mascara. So that's kind of just a quick face, but I am going to go through and do some eyelashes.
Nice.
So I'm like a little bit ahead of you, but not much.
You are. I'm gonna make up some ground here. If this was a, we are competitive. If this was a competition, we should have known. I would have been a little bit faster.
I haven't done my lips yet or anything, so I'm still good there.
I'll sabotage you all by you.
So I found with different eyelash glues that I had different reactions to it. Like I found that I had, and my eyes would burn sometimes from different ones. So I found this one, Casina.
I'm not going to even venture.
Kasina. So I think it's Casina.
Okay,
Anyway, I just find, or Casina, one of the two. I find it's really, really good. It's like great for sensitive eyes because
so I am using, it's not a beauty blender. It is a knockoff blender. But I use it just slightly down when I'm applying my foundation. I like the coverage. And I feel like it's kind of a skin-like texture afterwards. It doesn't apply too much. Whereas I know myself, I tend to be a little heavy-handed with a latex sponge. So then I'm going to conceal my under eyes. All you mamas out there and students that pulled an all-nighter, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going in with the antioxidant concealer, the Candid Concealer from Revlon. A little bit of a yellowy tinge to it, so it kind of helps to cancel out. If you're into color theory, the yellow will help cancel out that purpley blue. So a little bit of yellow tinge to it. I probably wouldn't use this to cover any breakouts. Well, you could, if you went sparingly on it, I think. But it works beautifully as an under eye concealer.
now for my everyday look, I tend to just go with like, I'm not so much pink anymore. I like to do more of like a neutral pinky coral look for my
I
lips.
think it's very fresh.
So this one, I love the NYX lip colors. I find they're very affordable, and I find that they have so many like beautiful
I
tones.
like their is that the suede?
This
Or the
one
matte
is
cream?
a soft matte lip cream. So I've got a few different ones, but I'm like, I think this is the one I'm going to use today. It seems to be my go-to lately, but they always change. But I really do like the NYX colors.
So I've got my concealer and I've got my foundation on. Blended it down my neck because you don't want to just like stop at the chin. It's not a good look. And then I'm going to set it with a powder. I really like the Maybelline Fit Me, the loose finishing powder. I like that it's slightly tinted because I have a no color powder, and I like how soft it is. But I feel like this loose finishing powder, it's really beautiful on camera. It's really beautiful in photos. It's like slightly tinted, like almost the same color as my foundation.
Yeah.
So I like that it's not so white. Because I was on a really no color loose powder kick for a long time. And Kelly was like, you're gonna get flashback, you're gonna get flashback. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna get flashback. I'm so light-handed with my powder. And I look back at some photos of like some big events like Isabel's dedication. I feel like I have flashback.
You still look beautiful.
Thanks.
So I think that's it for me. I ended up going through, after I put my lashes on, what I just personally tend to like to do is I grab my liquid eyeliner and I actually go over top of the eyelashes, like just the lash line again, and I find it.
Then you're not really done.
No, I did.
You're not done yet.
I did that already. I am done. I think I'm done. But yeah, that's what I like to do because I find it just kind of blends in the eyelashes, and because sometimes even though the glue dries clear, you kind of tend to still get a little bit of that.
That's true.
That
you can
clear
see
line.
a little bit of the glue.
So, and nobody really sees that until they're like right up close to you. So that's where the 6 foot away.
It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice right now. But that's what I like to do. So it's very simple.
I am not baking my nose, but kind of. I have this Real Techniques brush. It's for like doing your under eyes. It's like for doing your eyes. It is for doing your under eyes. Super, super, super soft. If you don't have an eyeshadow, like an under eye setting brush, you don't really need one, but it's nice. And I really like it for setting the concealer. If you saw me tap with my finger underneath my eye, it's just because I don't want to set creases. I want to make sure that there's no creases on set. So I'm just putting a little bit of powder on my nose because I'm going to slightly contour and blend there. And I want a little bit of a powder there as kind of like a buffer so I don't get a harsh line. I'm now just going in with the contour on my cheekbones. I'm using a slightly grayer shade than a bronzer. And I'm going to take like a brownier color from that palette and I'm going to work it in tops of my cheekbone.
That's not blush, man. It's just the honey glow on my cheeks.
So I'm going to get you to hold your big one.
Okay.
I'm going to go in with my
I can do
blush.
this. You know, oh sorry.
That's it.
If I move it around.
The bourgeois?
Sure, you're asking the girl that can't pronounce anything.
The beef I have with this is it's scented. I'm not a big fan of scented fans or scented things.
Now, there's a Too Faced bronzer that I do love.
Okay, I don't mind that one, the chocolatey
the
smell.
chocolatey smell. But I'm like, you know when you're a kid and you want to eat Play-Doh? Not that I want to. I'm like, when you're doing your makeup and you're smelling chocolate, you're just like,
kind of want to eat you right now.
Like, I feel like a 5-year-old kid again that wants to eat their Play-Doh. I have not tasted it. I don't know.
You beat me by a mile, I feel, because I haven't even done my lips yet. Did you line them?
No, I didn't line them. That's what I told you. I guess I didn't tell you. I said sometimes I line them, sometimes I don't.
You should line them. Then I could have had a chance.
Oh yeah.
Saying there's a chance.
See. That's a really pretty color. What color is that?
This one is the spicy color.
Ooh.
It's the really like the kitten heels too. I really like that one.
So that's from NYX as well.
The NYX Suede matte lipstick.
Yeah, super pretty.
Now I realized I didn't do my brows, so I'm gonna steal back my small one.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go in with my brow pencil, and then I'm gonna set it with a brow gel. I feel like if I don't, and do you guys ever get flyaway brows? Like I feel like if that's a thing, flyaway brows.
Oh,
like
yes,
towards
it's
the
a
end,
thing.
like I feel like the front part of my brows stays beautiful, and they stay in place. And now that bushy brows are thankfully back in, it's the tails of my brows that just like to be unruly.
Go to the longer
Did you
lasting.
put on highlighter? She's like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done.
Wow.
Did you spray your face? Did you set? Did you?
No, I didn't.
I'm trying to.
This
I'm gonna use
is
a fan brush.
this is my everyday look. This
Oh,
is my
and here I'm doing.
well.
Okay. Well, this is my go-to, never fail.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
Okay. Otherwise, I would have been done a long time ago.
This is my everyday go-to look, I guess. Yeah, I just didn't have that my highlighter in front of me.
Here, use mine.
Behind me. You're gonna be like, I'm done. I'm just gonna do a little bit in my nose. Up here.
I used Max Prep and Prime Fix Plus. I really like it because it returns the face to like a skin-like finish after you've powdered. And with my skin being on the drier side now, I tend to like to have that kind of powdery residue gone. So I feel like I finally got there.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. I like your everyday look too.
Oh, thank you.
I like the greens and the blacks and stuff that you use. I also did my lashes off camera, so I'll let you know that. I cheated a lot because I wasn't so speedy as Kelly. So I did my lashes, I did the magnetic kiss lashes, which I've been loving because all you do is you use like a liquid liner that it comes with it, the magnetic liner, and then you just pop on the lashes on top of it and it sticks to your liner. There's no mess, no fuss, and you can't even tell that you're wearing that.
Yeah, like I
liner on
can't
there,
tell that you're
that it's glued. Yeah.
magnetic and not.
There's
That's
no
really cool.
There's no double lash there. So this is our go-to. Never fail. Always looks beautiful. You'll always look right for the occasion that you're going to, no matter if it's a fancy event or if it's just running around town. You're not going to look out of place. It's going to look beautiful. So I hope you enjoy.